All right, welcome to my Call of Duty Modern Warfare missions and challenges review. Now I'm going to start with shock and awe. This one says build your proficiency with battlefield support by calling in various kill streaks. So this is basically the kill streak challenges. So first up is call in 30 personal radars. This is super easy. The personal radar is the easiest kill streak to earn. It's 3 kills, and with hardline it of course knocks it down to 2. So just equip your favorite weapon, get a 2 kill streak, and you're good to go. You can do this multiple times a game. Obviously, you can't call in more than one in a single life unless you run the care package, which counts for this challenge. So I recommend running the personal radar and then the care package, earning them both. Hopefully you get a personal radar out of the care package and that'll count. Otherwise, just keep earning your 2 kill streaks, get your personal radar, and call in 30 of them. Now, the reward for this challenge is the Global Merit Emblem. This is pretty good. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. You can see there when I have it equipped in the bottom right. It's a pretty good emblem for being just a common variety. Next up is get 25 kills with shield turrets. Now this is also a 3 kill streak, so super easy to earn, but not so easy to use. So obviously you want to equip hardline, make it a 2 kill streak so you can easily get these. The problem is the hit detection is one of the worst in the entire game. You can't hit the broadside of a barn with this streak. A guy could be right in front of you and you could be spraying him with the shield turret and not get any registration whatsoever, which is super frustrating. And then other times there'll be a guy halfway across the map and they'll die in one hit, but it's few and far between when that actually happens. So I can't really hold your hand with this one. You just have to put it in a great choke point and hope that someone runs in front of you. Now, of course, the other drawback is these are planted on the minimap at all times, so everyone knows where you are. They can easily avoid it. It's just absolutely terrible to use. My recommendation is to go into an objective mode, such as headquarters, and just plant it nearby an objective point where people have to be congregating to, and try your best to get kills. Now, I also had a lot of success in free-for-all. Because the spawns are so chaotic, people will be running around aimlessly, and you can pick them off if the hit detection decides to work. Either way, 25 kills with this is going to take you quite a few attempts. And the reward for this one is a rare spray called Center Mass. Unfortunately, sprays are absolutely worthless in this game, but I guess you could spray along some bullet holes and pretend people were there. Probably one of the dumbest things I've ever said, but that's all there is to it for that. Next up is call in 30 UAVs. Now, I can't really help you with this one either, but you can equip the hardline perk to knock it down from 4 kills to 3. Even as a mediocre player, you should be able to get 3 kills every once in a while. So it's just a process of grinding out 3 kills every time you can. Call in 30 of these UAVs and you should be good to go. Now your reward for this one is a common calling card called En route. And unfortunately, since it is common, it's not animated. You can see it there in the top right. It's just 3 helicopters. Next up is call in 25 care packages. This is basically identical to the UAV one in regards to difficulty. However, instead of calling in 30 like the UAV, you only have to call in 25. You don't even have to collect the care package. As soon as you get the marker, throw it down and it counts for the 25 care packages. Now again, to make this easier, equip the hardline perk and just go on a 3 kill streak as often as you can. Now the reward for this one is the Ready for War sticker. You can see it right there. It's an eagle. I'm not a big fan of stickers in this game, but let's just see what it looks like. You can kind of see it there. There it is. Now the next 2 challenges are more or less the same. They're get 20 kills with cluster strikes and then get 20 kills with the precision airstrike. Now these are both in the 5 kill category, so go ahead and equip hardline to knock it down to a 4 kill. Now in addition, I can recommend running the care package because like I mentioned earlier, any streak you pull out of this counts for these challenges. So essentially, if you earn a care package, call it in and get the cluster strike, you then have 2 chances to score some kills because they both count. Now, if you saw my challenge on what I consider the worst kill streak in the game, it is the cluster strike. And that's because not only do you have a laser that everyone can see where you're calling it in at, there's a huge delay before the bombs start dropping. And it marks it on the map as well as the mini-map where it's coming in at. So everyone can easily get out of the way. It's super hard to get kills with this. With that said, I highly recommend objective games and even the new Shoot House map. So go into Shoot House 24/7 and hopefully you can earn some cluster strikes because it's super easy to get kills in that. Now, I grinded this out. The map wasn't available yet and it was super hard to get kills and I was getting so frustrated. Now the precision airstrike is a little more easy to get kills. It comes in much quicker. It's not as noticeable where you're calling it in, but again, the same thing applies. Objective game modes are great, in particular Shoot House 24/7. So for the cluster strike, you get the Dragon's Rage calling card. As you can see here, it's pretty nice looking. Unfortunately, it's not animated. Now for the precision airstrike reward, you do get an animated calling card. Apparently, they think the precision airstrike is harder to get kills with than the cluster strike, which is opposite of what I think. But this reward is a little bit better because it is epic and it is animated. Now second to last is get 30 kills with the Nielsen. Now here's where it gets a bit difficult. The Nielsen, unfortunately, is a 7 kill streak. Even with hardline, which I highly recommend, it'll still require you to get 6 kills. The average Joe probably can't get 6 kills in this game unless you camp it up really hard. But as I mentioned earlier, use the care package. You can get the Nielsen out of it, and it does count. So always run the care package when you're going for these challenges. Again, objective game modes are your best friend, as well as Shoot House 24/7. If you've never ran the Nielsen before, the controls are all sorts of crazy. And it's paper thin when it comes to health. There's nothing worse than finally getting 6 or 7 kills and then dying instantly to someone rocketing your Nielsen. But I highly recommend going into a private match using this kill streak. Learn the controls first. You don't want to waste any opportunity. I feel like the hit detection is very similar to the shield turret with this thing. So sometimes it's really hard to get that good hit detection and get a kill. Now, I don't know why they went backwards for this one, but we dropped down to a common rarity calling card for the reward for this. It's called Off-Roading, probably one of the worst in this entire mission set. I don't know why the last one with the precision airstrike was animated and epic, and then we use the Nielsen and we get a common crappy calling card. And last but certainly not least is get 20 kills with the chopper gunner. Now a chopper gunner is 10 kills or 9 with hardline. So again, stick hardline on. 9 kills is much more easy than 10 kills, obviously. Run the care package. You'd be surprised at just how many times you can get the chopper gunner out of the care package. So you may look at this challenge and think there's no way I can ever earn a chopper gunner, let alone get 20 kills with it. So I'm a decent player at Call of Duty. In every game, I've had a 2.0 KD or higher for the past 10 years. However, as you can see by my combat record here, I have a 1.11 KD ratio in this game. I am absolutely trash. And if I can earn enough chopper gunners myself to get 20 kills, then you can too. So this is my ideal class setup. I highly recommend doing this in free-for-all mode. Your main objective is to basically patrol an area, not camp, but patrol. And in order to do that, you need the EOD perk in category 1. And this is just because people will come to seek revenge on you. So they'll bring out any explosive they can to get you out of your little patrol streak. Next up, of course, is hardline because it's hard enough to earn a chopper gunner normally. And lastly, you need shrapnel. For the lethal, I highly recommend the Claymore or a proximity mine. And for tactical, you can use whatever you want, but I prefer a stun grenade. Now likewise, for a weapon, just go with your favorite weapon. Whatever weapon you're most confident with, use that one. Preferably something that you can deck out with 5 attachments and get the recoil down. For a secondary, I love to use the RPG. It's a great follow-up weapon. It is slow to pull out, but it's basically a guaranteed one-shot kill. Now for a field order, I recommend the munitions box just because you can refresh your claymores, your tacticals, and your ammo supply. Now basically what you want to do is patrol an area, a tight-knit area. Preferably one that only has 2 or 3 places for enemies to come in at. Obviously you want to set up your claymores at 2 of the entrances that you're not guarding, and then you want to guard the 3rd. When someone detonates your claymore and gets killed, or they detonate it and alert you that they're coming in, focus on that enemy. And then go right back to the other spot you were watching. Now you don't want to stay in the same spot all the time because like I said, revenge seekers will come back to get you dead. Rotate positions, rotate to which area you're going to lock down, but make sure you have those other 2 or 1, however many you're guarding, in your line of sight so you can see if someone creeps up on you. Be sure to use your field upgrade to replenish that claymore. Now normally I'd put restock on, but like I said, it's much easier to knock 1 kill off of the chopper gunner with hardline. So that's basically all you have to do in free-for-all to do this. Lock down an area with minimal entrances and just keep rotating and patrolling. People will keep coming back. You can keep killing them as long as you're not in the same spot and you're unpredictable. Use those claymores, use those proximity mines, use the stun grenades. Your backup is the RPG. it's not as hard as you would think. So once you get into the chopper gunner, it's pretty easy to use. It's also easy to destroy, and there's a lot of buildings, so it's hard to get kills. Basically, hold the fire button. You have unlimited cannon rounds, which you can spray everywhere. Now you have a limited supply of rockets. You only get 8, and it's super easy to spray all those in one shot. So try not to do that. Only use the rockets as a last resort, but of course you want to use them before your time expires. So the grand reward for this is called the Standard Issue Blueprint. Now on this mission screen, it shows as just a blue rarity, and this is not true. If we come to the Armory where we view our blueprints and go to LMG, you can see that the standard issue is actually legendary. All right, so obviously this blueprint is for the PKM LMG, and this is what the default one looks like. It's kind of brown and dark and green. So you can see the comparison here in just the Armory screen before I go into Gunsmith. The standard issue here is just completely jet black. Everything is jet black about it. Again, here's the default with the green and the brown and the sort of black and the gray, and here's the jet black. This one is definitely stealthy. I love the black all around. It's just completely black. Now let's take a look at what attachments it gives us. It looks like it gives us 4 out of 5 attachments. Let's take a peek. So if we come into the Gunsmith here, it looks like it gives you muzzle brake, the VLK3 optic, sleight of hand for a perk, and the commando foregrip. So that leaves you with 1 extra attachment if you want to use it. You can put whatever else you want, provided you have unlocked it. And if you weren't aware, you can unequip these if you want. So I personally would not use this because I don't like this particular optic sight, so we can just take that off. And likewise, you can just make it completely naked, so to speak, and you still get that custom variant, the stealth jet black skin. All right, so I just wanted to show you what it looks like in game. You can see it's got a nice, clean jet black, awesome stealth mode to it. I think it's really sweet. I wish you could inspect. Someone said if I do an emote that you can really, oh no, that was to see the watch. Okay, so that's not really to see the gun. But there's one thing I did want to show you. If you ADS, you can see that the iron sights have now changed. This is what it looks like on this legendary blueprint model. Let me swap to the default one and we'll take a look. So yes, they are different. Here's the default version. Definitely a noticeable difference. In fact, I think it's a little harder to see, unfortunately, on the blueprint version. Actually, you know, this one's a little more open in the center, but there is some obstruction there on the left and right. So I don't know, some people may like this better. So that's about all there is to it for the standard issue variant here. The question is it worth grinding the shock and awe challenges for this? And the answer is yes. I think this is much nicer than the default PKM LMG, and I would highly recommend grinding for it. Most of the objectives in the shock and awe are pretty easy to do. It's just when you get to the precision airstrike, the cluster strike, the Nielsen, and the chopper gunner that it gets a bit hairy. But like I said, learn to patrol a little area in free-for-all mode and use hardline, use the care package, and you shouldn't have much issue completing these challenges.